Today is the Swedish National Day, but I'm here in the office because we have a very important video today. We will cover Bitcoin price. Is Lars Online turning down? Is the bull run, which we caught from 17,433 until 30k, over now? What is my take on SEC suing Binance over all other coins being securities, including stablecoins? Is this the end of all other cryptos? Also, time is ticking here. That annoying Larsson has set a deadline for Lars Online Pro to lock in 50% price for life. He's such an asshole, isn't he? But let's start with the SEC suing Binance. So one chief complaint is this. Since the Binance platforms launched, the defendants have made available for trading on them crypto assets that are offered and sold as investment contracts and thus as securities. BNB, BUSD, Sol, ADA, Matic, Phil, Atom, Sand, Mana, Algo, AXS and Corti. Collectively, the crypto asset securities. Noteworthy is that Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP are not mentioned, but they do say includes but not limited to. Still, my guess is that's because in March this year, CFTC sued Binance over ETH being a commodity, and the SEC has this ongoing lawsuit with Ripple. And some lawyers say that even if Judge Torres finding that Ripple violated the law, that doesn't apply to secondary market sales. And sadly, if googling for the Bitcoin CEO, there's sadly no one to sue. As you might recall, the former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes pleaded guilty to charges that he willfully failed to implement an anti-money laundering program at the exchange. He was sentenced to home detention for 6 months. No actual prison time. As far as I know, there was no damage done to investors in the case of BitMEX, while we have many cases where there were. FTX, Voyager, Celsius, BlockFi, Genesis. As far as I know, the SEC did nothing in any of those cases where investors were actually hurt, where subpoenas and so on were perhaps the only way to uncover what was actually happening behind closed doors in those companies. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried's trial hasn't really started yet, but those actions only came after it was already too late, when the money was already gone. A big difference is that even in this very hard attack from the SEC, these are not criminal charges, unlike those against BitMEX and FTX earlier. And as far as I can see, there is no allegation that customers' money is missing, which was the real problem in all those other cases. Correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm just an engineer. But it seems that most people came to the same conclusion because there has been no withdrawal panic, according to CryptoQuant CEO Ki-Young Yu. Here is one poll by CZ. Who protects you more? SEC, Binance. Yesterday, I read through all the comments on Gary Gensler's tweet, which were almost exclusively from the crypto investors he's saying he's trying to protect. I read through every single comment and I couldn't find one positive reply. And there's a lot of replies here. Not one. Today I found one from a long-term enemy of CZ. So what is going on? Why is Gary Gensler doing this if no one of the people who is supposed to protect is actually supporting it? Is he that dumb? No. I don't think so. I think Gary Gensler is very smart. I think almost everyone underestimates him here. I don't think his target outcome is to make all coins a security. I think that's a negotiation tactic. You start with saying all blockchains are securities. Then you hope to land in an outcome where some coins, which actually are run as companies, where the coins are actually functioning like a stock, are securities. While others, which truly are decentralized protocols, are just protocols. I think here in Sweden we got this much more correct already from the start. Here crypto is classified as other assets. It's neither a stock nor a currency. And Mika in EU is also much more on the right track. You need a dedicated regulation for blockchain protocols. You can't regulate air travel with train regulation, because then you'll mandate that plane operators need to build rails in the sky. This is at least as dumb. When meeting with the Swedish finance market minister in this video, I explained how blockchain is a protocol. Having value attached to the protocol is just how blockchain works. It's how the once unsolvable double-spend problem in computer science was finally solved. And that protocol then becomes incredibly useful. That's the value of that protocol. Saying that every blockchain protocol is then a security, like a stock, just isn't correct. So no, I don't think this is the end of crypto. I think it's a negotiation tactic. I think Binance will get out of this, process this in courts, pay some fines over something some bro said in some meeting 5 years ago, some months after the company was created. Frankly, if this is their gold evidence, out of these 136 pages, if this is the best they got, I'm not impressed. Operating as a doesn't mean you are a. I can walk like an Egyptian. Doesn't mean I am an Egyptian. I'm still Swedish, if that isn't clear from my accent. So no, I don't think this is the end of Bitcoin and crypto. We will look at the detailed price action right here, because instead, I see this as an opportunity. But first, it's now only 1 day left for existing members to lock in 50% price discount for life on Large Online Pro. It's approaching 30 days since I launched it. First I thought I'll show a bunch of success cases, and I prepared those, looks great. But then I decided no, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm not going to boost it, because this isn't the time in the market for altcoins. Right now, a boring, choppy market. Bitcoin dominance is sideways for 4 weeks. Nothing is happening. I covered that in more detail last Friday, watch if you haven't. I'm going to show you a bad example instead. Let's take one coin I talked about in some earlier video. IMGNAI, some mildly fun AI project that got fame by being featured on the Joe Rogan show. How did it go with that? First we realized that there is no IMGNAI versus USD chart with long history on TradingView. So how can Large Online Pro even know it flipped? It's because I don't rely on TradingView. I calculate everything from scratch in own code. That's how we can find stuff early. So we have to look on this garbage chart on CoinMarketCap. Then from the history tracking, I know that it flipped blue after May 12th. So flipping blue means trend turned down. Here on May 12th, exactly at the local bottom. The worst possible outcome. Because as you can see, the trend actually turned up here. And Large Online turned gold again on May 22nd, which was here. So in a choppy market, a trend following process can actually set you up wrong. Still, if entering here on the 22nd at 0.018, it was not too bad. Price did double from there. And even now it's 0.024. So as you can see, it was still rather helpful, even though we had maximum bad luck exactly at that point. This also illustrates why I insist on the course to combine the trend with some key chart constructions. And combining the USD chart with also looking on the coin to BTC, or as in this case coin to ETH chart, also often gives an even clearer picture. If we look at Large Online Pro today, out of 25,000 projects on CoinMarketCap, where I have tagged about 10,000 as alive, 2. So that's 2 out of 25,000 projects have flipped gold today. And even those 2 aren't even gold against BTC on the BTC chart. So 2 out of 25,000 projects. Why even bother looking at any of the 24,498 projects? They're anyway trending down. The way I'm using the tool right now is not for entering glorious positions and try to run them 100x. That will happen when this curve, the market cap BTC dominance, starts trending down, while this chart, Bitcoin versus the dollar, holds flat. And hopefully it does that from higher levels. Until then, I have 2 other objectives, and I think you should have 3 objectives if you haven't already done the last one. My first objective is to not lose money in this choppy, difficult market. There is no strategy that will consistently make you money in the chop, guys. Just avoid holding stuff when the trend is down, meaning Large Online is blue. Why hold then? It makes no sense. Just try to not screw it up. That's all you need to do at this period of the market. The chop isn't where you make the money. Number 2. Often I come across interesting projects on Twitter, maybe on YouTube, someone sends me a project to look at, or you guys share it in our Discord or something. Before, I wrote that in my notes on my Mac. Then I usually forgot about it until that coin had already pumped like 5x and I felt like I missed it. Now when that happens, I go to my portfolio page on Large Online Pro, enter the project, and then I see immediately, oh, the trend is down. I don't need to do anything now. I don't even need to look at the project. So I know that when the trend turns up, I will get a notification, because this coin can't go to the moon with the trend down. It's mathematically not possible. Then I look at it, if that ever happens, and with more information, and I look at the chart then. Now, I no longer lose those opportunities. Number 3, you need to be ready. Have your tools and knowledge and processes ready for when the next Altseason starts. I can't predict the future of markets, but it's like this. Either I'm wrong about Binance and Gary Gensler and all that, and it's truly the end of crypto. In that case, Lars Online will be blue here on my portfolio page, and I'll preserve most of my capital. I won't give all the money back to the market. Or history will rhyme, and markets will continue to behave similarly for another year. Remember, all these crypto charts look exactly like the commodity charts 100 years ago described in the 1930s. People don't change. That's my bet. I think the next Altseason will behave very similarly to the previous Altseasons. And that means it will happen very fast. Suddenly we will have a lot of gold flips. And we need to be razor sharp, determined and fast. You better have your tools ready before that. Finish the courses before that. Have a clarity of your own plan, so that when action is actually due, you press the button. The difficulty with markets isn't analysis, it's the execution, to stick to your own plan. That's well researched. So get your tools in order now, or regret it later. That's my advice. Now let's look at the short-term Bitcoin price. I exited half my position at 26,830 yesterday morning. Of course, I had no insight in what the SEC is doing, so in that sense it was just luck. On the other hand, the chart looked weak, maybe for a reason. I reduced my position for 3 reasons. Number 1, we were again then below the 27k neckline. It didn't seem to hold. And as you know, a horizontal head and shoulders pattern is an input in my process. So I felt I had to act stronger on that after all. Secondly, as I covered in the same video last Friday, the DXY and the US government bonds 2-year yield chart give us great clues to the short-term Bitcoin price action, and both those look strong. So I took one more bet yesterday morning that will get a chance to enter either on 25k support or maybe even on the 23,800 head and shoulders target. Then last night I did re-enter partially here at 25,571. Now I'm waiting with the rest to see if we can come lower or if this is it, and then I'll decide where to buy that back. That is if the overall situation remains. Lars Online has not turned down as of yet. If it does, if the trend turns down, I will act differently. You all know my philosophy here, that it's very difficult to predict the future. You and I have no idea what Gary Gensler is going to do tomorrow. Instead of wasting time trying to guess or predict that, reacting quickly to what actually happens is much easier. I've tracked the results from this process for so many years on the website now. If you've been here for a year or something, you've seen it in real time. I prefer to just look at the chart and take action based on reality instead. It's much harder for the big whale manipulators to hide their actions in the chart than on social media. Most people lose money on crypto, despite it being the most appreciating asset category in all of human history. If you follow the general mood and sentiment on social media, you're almost certain to join that group, because the majority lose money. You have to break out of that herd. Arm yourself with an own process, own tools, own education, and steer your own ship. One day left, guys, for existing members from before. If you want it, go to cityoflarsson.com and press Pro here at the top. In roughly 24 hours, this price doubles. And if you haven't taken the course, it's $8,900. But then really, take the course first instead. New members starting the course now still get 30 days to lock in Pro at half price. And to illustrate the point that you can't really predict what the SEC will do next, while editing the video, they sued Coinbase. CZ, if you have to pick a fight with everyone, maybe you are the one at fault. This doesn't change anything. In fact, it reinforces everything I've said in this video. Heja Sverige! Thank you, tack! City of Larsson out!